Virgo, August 15th is not just another date on the calendar. It's a coded checkpoint in your soul's journey, one that won't repeat in this cycle. A spiritual deadline disguised as an ordinary Friday. But you've already felt the tension building. You've sensed the stillness around you growing louder. Something sacred is shifting. This message isn't for everyone. It's not meant to be. It's for the ones who have ears to hear and hearts to respond. You've been preparing in silence. While others raced ahead, you were being refined behind the veil. August 15th marks what the ancients called a gate, a closing corridor where the soul is tested before stepping into legacy. This is your cosmic test. And it comes with a divine ultimatum: miracles if you align, karmic loops if you ignore the signs. What you do with this moment will echo across timelines. Underneath it all is a soul architecture, a spiritual blueprint that knows what you're here for. And now that contract is coming due. You're not late. You're right on time for your own initiation. Today, you'll understand what this test really is. You'll learn to recognize the hidden signals you've been receiving for weeks. And most importantly, you'll know how to act with spiritual intelligence. But this isn't just knowledge, it's transmission, a prophetic unveiling wrapped in instruction. You'll walk away with 3 clear test markers, a micro-ritual to pass them, and a final decree to seal your next timeline. Don't skip ahead. Every sentence opens another lock. Stay until the end. The decree isn't just a phrase, it's a spiritual contract. Spoken aloud, it reshapes the field around you. It's your signature across dimensions. This is the last window in this particular cycle. There will be other lessons, but not this one. Not like this. You were called for this very gate, and it remembers you. Let's begin. You've always carried more than you've shown. The silence? It wasn't passivity. It was power under construction. While the world celebrated noise and quick wins, you, Virgo, held the line in the unseen. There were nights when you questioned everything. Why so much effort with so little return? Why the recurring patterns that seemed to mock your progress? But behind every delay was divine design. You weren't forgotten. You were being set apart. You've been underestimated, even by yourself. Others saw control. They missed the discipline. They saw detachment. They never witnessed the silent cries behind your boundaries. But the truth is, this wasn't punishment. It was preparation. Your isolation wasn't a failure. It was sacred setup. The universe doesn't waste your pain. It banks it. It multiplies it. And when the time is right, it turns every buried seed into harvest. August 15th is that time. The cosmic test wasn't randomly assigned to you. Your soul chose this path long before this life began. You agreed to be a pattern breaker, a line restorer, a gatekeeper of ancestral healing. Your diligence in the invisible? It's been recorded. The sleepless nights, the silent prayers, the yes you said even when it hurt. All of it has been witnessed. This test is your return, not as revenge, but as restoration, a rebalancing of spiritual accounts. Private pain will now have the chance to meet public honor, but only if you recognize the setup and walk it with eyes open. You're not being tested to be exposed. You're being tested to be revealed. The version of you that emerges on the other side of this will not be tolerated. It will be revered. Now we shift. To understand what this test actually is, we must step into the mystical lens. Because this isn't about passing or failing in human terms. It's about remembering what you agreed to and choosing it again with full awareness. Let's go deeper. What you're facing is not chaos. It's choreography. The test is not punishment. It's precise, sacred engineering. A soul-level calibration that arrives not to break you, but to reveal you. This moment is coded. Wrapped inside it is a map. Your patterns, your lessons, and your exit points from cycles that no longer serve. The test appears as external pressure, but it's really an internal alignment. Energetically, we're in the waning moon phase, a time of release, of letting go, of surrendering old control. For Virgo, an earth sign ruled by Mercury, this lunar tone brings one message: stop managing what is meant to dissolve. The gate you're walking through is not new. It's ancient. It carries echoes of lifetimes where you were silenced, over-responsible, or invisible in your own brilliance. The label on this gate is not test in the traditional sense. It's initiation. Remember that. You've likely already felt the signals. That dream you can't shake? It was a key. The emotional weight with no clear source? Activation. The repeating numbers, 1111, 222? Confirmation. The sudden intuition, the sense you're being watched or guided? You are. Don't panic. Awareness is your power. The more you understand the frame, the less fear can distort your vision. You're not broken. You're being brought into coherence. This isn't a moral test. It's a vibrational one. It asks, will you respond from the past, or will you act from your higher self? Will you try to fix what wants to fall, or bless it and walk forward? There are 3 core expressions of this test. Each one arrives like a disguised angel, wearing the face of a trigger, a decision, or a sudden request. And each one, when passed, unlocks something ancient inside you. A blueprint, a memory, a forgotten courage. Let's name them. Not to fear them, but to master them. The first, the shadow projection. The second, the soul decision. The third, the legacy activation. Each one is sacred. Each one precise. Each one passable. You'll recognize them when you see them. And once you do, you'll never unsee. Let's begin with the first gate. The first test is the shadow projection. This is where your unhealed patterns come wearing someone else's face. It's the moment you look at someone and feel anger, judgment, resentment, and yet deep down, you know it's a mirror. The external conflict is a reflection of an internal blind spot. This test doesn't announce itself. It sneaks in. It comes through small irritations, passive-aggressive comments, or people who just get under your skin. But if you pay attention, you'll see the pattern. Signs include a familiar tension you can't explain, repeating emotional triggers with different people, unexpected anger or jealousy surfacing, feeling misunderstood or unseen, moments where you feel judged and overreact. Here's a scene. Virgo enters a room and feels instantly on edge. Someone makes a comment that stings. Virgo smiles politely, but inside, they spiral. Not because of the comment, but because it echoed something their inner critic has said for years. This is the shadow projection at work. The trap here? Defensiveness. Blame. The impulse to cut people off or retreat completely. But the spiritual move? Pause. Breathe. Ask, what is this showing me about me? Not from shame, from power. Awareness disarms the trigger, and when you own the shadow, it no longer owns you. Your immediate protocol is this. Step 1. Identify the emotion without judgment. I feel X because... Step 2. Find the original voice behind it. Is this about them, or is this old programming showing up? You'll be shocked how often the trigger is actually an echo from childhood, family systems, or past betrayals that haven't been transmuted. Speak this affirmation. My pain is not my prison. My awareness is my liberation. This test is not here to punish you for being sensitive. It's here to remind you that your sensitivity is sacred, once reclaimed. As you clear this shadow, you create space for the next gate. And this one is deeper. It doesn't reflect your wounds. It asks for your choice. Let's move forward to the soul decision. The second test is the soul decision. It comes quietly, often disguised as something ordinary, a conversation, a job offer, a choice to stay or leave. But underneath the surface, it's a spiritual crossroads, a vibrational fork in the road that asks, will you act from fear or will you choose alignment? This test isn't about logic, it's about frequency. It bypasses the mind and lands directly in the gut. You'll feel it as tension, hesitation, or a tug of war between your intuition and your programming. The signs are subtle but real. A persistent inner knowing you keep dismissing. An opportunity that feels aligned but scares you. A relationship or space that drains you, yet you justify staying. A pattern of indecision that spirals into paralysis. Imagine Virgo standing at the threshold of a new job. On paper, it's perfect. But something feels off. There's an invisible fog, a quiet warning from the body. They overanalyze, consult others, write pros and cons. But the soul already knows. This is the soul decision. Will you trust the higher signal even if it makes no sense? The trap here is overthinking. Virgo, ruled by Mercury, often seeks safety in analysis. But this gate isn't asking for intellect, it's asking for trust. The aligned move? Step 1. Ground. Return to breath. Place your hand on your chest and ask, what does my body say? Step 2. Leap. Not recklessly, but responsively. Choose the option that feels like expansion, even if it scares you. Say this with me. I trust my higher timeline. Your higher path won't beg or bully you. It will whisper, and it will wait. But not forever. This test invites you to stop negotiating with delay. It's time to say yes to what already belongs to you. Not when you're ready. Now. And when you do, the third gate opens. It's not about mirrors or decisions anymore. It's about purpose. About standing in the full weight of who you were always meant to be. Next, the legacy activation. The third test is the legacy activation. This is where the universe stops whispering and begins assigning. Where you're no longer being asked to heal or choose, but to lead, to embody, to show up as the vessel of your soul's true work. This gate appears when you're called into visibility, not performatively, but purposefully. You may be asked to teach, guide, mentor, initiate, or step into spaces you once felt unworthy of. It's not about ego. It's about impact. The signs are unmistakable. People start asking you for advice or clarity. You feel compelled to create, share, or speak, even if afraid. Opportunities arrive that reflect dreams you shelved years ago. You feel the weight of responsibility, but also a rising excitement. Picture this. Virgo receives an invitation to collaborate on a project that mirrors an old vision, a dream they quietly buried years ago. Fear kicks in. Am I really ready? But something in their body says yes. The timing is divine. The request is not random. It's a soul echo returning. The trap here is perfectionism. The belief that you must be fully healed, fully ready, fully confident before stepping forward. But the truth, leadership doesn't require perfection. It requires presence. Your protocol. Step 1. Say yes before your fear writes a script of sabotage. Step 2. Begin with what you have. Speak, write, serve, offer, imperfectly but honestly. Declare this aloud. I am ready as I am. This activation isn't about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you've always been beneath the noise, the delay, the detours. Legacy isn't a title, it's a frequency. When you step into it, others rise with you. Your courage becomes a permission slip. And now, you've seen the 3 gates, the mirror, the choice, the call. But theory isn't transformation. It becomes real when you witness it, when you see someone face the storm, trust the signs, do the ritual, and shift their timeline. Let me show you what that looks like. She was quiet, too quiet for a world that worships noise. She didn't look like someone who would shift timelines, but the energy around her had changed. She was a Virgo, disciplined, loyal, silently exhausted. And in late July, everything began to collapse. Emails went unanswered. Clients pulled out. A relationship dissolved without warning. From the outside, it looked like a breakdown. But in the spirit realm, it was alignment. She started seeing the numbers, 777, then 222. A butterfly landed on her shoulder during a walk. A child whispered her name without knowing her. She dreamed of an old door. In the dream, she didn't open it. She kicked it down. That was her sign. She sat on the floor one night, surrounded by silence. No more journaling. No more trying. Just breath. Then, something moved in her. She stood up, wrote a short letter to her old self. Every doubt, every fear, every delay. She burned it safely in a ceramic bowl, watching the smoke rise like a contract dissolving. 2 days later, a call came in. An opportunity she thought was lost reappeared, this time with better terms. But it wasn't just the offer that changed. It was her. Her voice held a new tone. Her boundaries weren't walls, they were gateways. She began saying yes to things that once terrified her, and no to what no longer fed her mission. What happened? She passed the test, not by force, by surrender, not by proving, by choosing, not by fighting, by aligning. Her ritual wasn't complex. It was pure. Intention, elevated emotion, a symbolic act, and full release. That's all it took to shift frequencies. She wasn't lucky, she was activated. And now you've seen the pattern. The prophecy isn't a story, it's a mirror. What she did, you can do. What showed up for her can arrive for you, when your field is clear and your actions match your alignment. So how do you do that? You follow the 3-step ritual. Simple, potent, immediate. Let's walk through it now. This is your ritual. Clear, charge, release. You don't need a full moon. You don't need crystals or candles, though you can use them if it helps anchor your presence. What you truly need is intention, emotion, and willingness. Step 1. Clear. Sit down and write, without filter, the truth. What choice are you avoiding? What part of your life feels like a repeat loop? What fear keeps you small? Write it all, then shift. Now write the opposite, what you actually want. Phrase it in the present tense. I am fully seen and supported. I choose peace over control. This is your clarity. This is your soul's command. Step 2. Charge. Close your eyes. Place your hands over your heart or belly. Breathe in for 4. Hold for 7. Exhale for 8. Do this 3 times. Then visualize a door in front of you. Beyond it is the version of you that already passed the test. How do they speak? Walk? Serve? Feel that energy. Let it fill your body. Say, out loud, I walk through. Step 3. Release. Now take the paper from step 1. Burn it safely. Tear it. Bury it. Flush it. Doesn't matter how. Just let it go. This symbolic act seals the ritual in the subconscious. It tells the universe, I'm done with delay. I'm in motion now. Optional. Light a white candle or incense. Stand barefoot on the ground. Align your body with stillness. Let yourself feel complete. Because you are. You've just done what many fear, faced the mirror, made the choice, and walked the path. You've shifted your energy from survival to sovereignty. Protection tip: repeat the 4-7-8 breath anytime the fear returns. Cleanse with salt water, smudge, or prayer as needed. Whisper your affirmation at sunrise. You're no longer asking, you're anchoring. And remember, if you don't feel anything right away, give it 48 hours. Dreams will deliver the rest. Now, let's confirm the shift. Because yes, there are signs you've passed the test. So how do you know you passed? You'll feel it before you see it. The energy shifts subtly, like a deep exhale after years of holding your breath. The universe doesn't always shout. Sometimes it nods. And when alignment is complete, the nod becomes undeniable. These are your signs. You wake up feeling lighter, even if circumstances haven't changed. You hear a song, a phrase, or a stranger's words, and it hits like a message. You see numbers: 111 for creation, 222 for union, 777 for spiritual confirmation. You get chills when someone speaks your exact inner thought. You feel calm, centered, peaceful without reason. That piece? It's not denial, it's arrival. If none of that happens right away, don't panic. Some signs come through dreams, memories, or even silence. Virgo, your process is precise. Sometimes your soul likes to confirm in private before it manifests in public. Still unsure? Try this. For the next 24 hours, do this daily anchor. One breath, 4, 7 to 8. One phrase, I am already aligned. One action that reflects your new timeline, a bold message, a boundary, a step you've avoided, but also guard the space. After a test, the field is open and the old energy may try to re-enter. Avoid oversharing your process with people who drain you. Impulse spending or distraction habits, spiraling into what-ifs or trying to rework the past. You don't need to explain your shift, you just need to live it. Let this chapter settle, let the codes land. And now, lock it in. We're not ending, we're sealing. One final decree will set your new frequency in motion. Come with me. You were never meant to be ordinary. You are a Virgo, a soul architect, a frequency keeper, a vessel for sacred order in a chaotic world. You've passed through the mirrors, you've made the decision, you've answered the call. August 15th wasn't just a date, it was your gate. The choice you made within it now echoes across dimensions. What you just walked through wasn't symbolic, it was structural. You've rewritten the way energy responds to you. And now, we seal it. Stand up. Breathe. Feel your feet on the ground. Speak this decree aloud, not as a request, but as truth. I pass the test. I receive the miracle. Again, I pass the test. I receive the miracle. Let the words land in your cells. Let them echo in the unseen. This is not just a mantra. It is a declaration of completion, of readiness, of arrival. Now, type it. Anchor it in this dimension. Comment. I receive the signs. Not for me, for you. It's your contract, your signature, your seal. The next message might hold the map for your next phase. Stay open, stay grounded, stay available to receive. You are no longer walking in the cycle of delay. You are now walking in the current of alignment. Let the old dissolve behind you like mist. Let the new rise before you like a golden door, wide open, waiting. And remember, tests don't come to see what you know. They come to reveal who you are. You are the miracle. And this timeline remembers you.